Okay, I've got a new fangled thing to hold the camera, so hopefully I can do this well. So I've been experimenting with some things. The idea is to get this little piece here to poke up through this nice slot that I've made and just indicate the gear that the car is in. Now I've done a little bit of bending to this because I'm pretty sure how I want to make this work to get it to do the job. And the plan is to put a small LED just in here, shine onto the back of this, and that'll actually reflect onto the fascia here and light up the number as well. So that's the plan. I reckon that'll be pretty cool way to do it, and just give you the indicator. So the problem I've got is this piece has the end of the steering shaft in it, so there's a bearing that goes in there and holds that, and then the indicator bit goes on there and everything, and I can't for the life of me remember how far back or forward this goes. So I've got to make it so that I can sit the whole thing in there, do what I've got to do, and get it to work without interfering with any of that shit. So this first, if I made this angled like that, so that whatever this sits on is actually slid as far back into this as we can get. So I've cut up just some bits of plastic just to attempt to do some stuff. For the purpose of the demo, I'll take that out. So these fit pretty snug on here. They'll slide pretty nicely. Just with those two on there like that, that slides pretty good. So the plan is to just keep it simple. So I'll put a screw up through this, maybe a couple of spaces, I don't know. And then what happens is we use some bits of a pushy that a bloke just sold me to run a cable pull in around this through the bottom. That'll have a spring on it to return it. This lovely little bit of gear here makes it turn 90 degrees. So my plan is to actually have this coming out of here. If I do this right, this should pretty much align with the cable that goes down, the shifter action that goes down pushes in and out into the floor. So this will line up with it, and we can simply clamp the cable on there, and it'll give you a really easy way of adjusting. So you put the car in park and adjust this so that you adjust the clamp so that the shifter, however far along the cable it needs to go, so that the indicator reads park, and then from there you go. So this is a quadrant off, I think Arthur said it was off an EH. So these things work because, so quadrant, so 1/4, so it'll follow through 90 degrees with levers being pushed and pulled. Anything beyond 90 degrees you start to get like too much mechanical advantage one way or the other. Too much or not enough, so you can't apply enough force to make it, like you get past 90, you can't apply enough 45, sorry, which is half of the sweep. You can't apply enough force to make it really jump that way a lot. And the reverse is true. If you're pulling on it and it's back this way, you can't, like the harder you pull, the less force is actually applied to making it rotate, and more just to pulling it towards you. So try and keep within that 90 degrees and everything will work out pretty good. There is a maths for that I'm not going to do right now. What I am going to do, see if I can get this thing to sort of work, figure it out. I don't want to really do too much because I need to be able to put it in the car and adjust it and make sure, figure out how it works. This is the original out of that quadrant. Pretty cool little bit of gear, so I'll put that in there. these for now can stay like just assembled like this. It's just got a couple of screws in it. I'll replace that with something better, and I'll do something to make sure that it doesn't move. And any holes that we've made doing what we're doing, I'll have to seal them shut. Just we'll just use some metal style filler, and yeah, this is all in here. So anyway, so what I'm going to do first is get this outer ring here, bit of plumbing pipe. I'm going to drill a hole in this, and from the back I'm going to countersink it at the back so that the head of the screw sits up in it, and it doesn't interfere with the sliding. Alright, after a little bit of fucking around, and by a little bit I mean a lot, this is where I'm at. Nice, just points at the bottom perfectly. I think that's going to work really well. What I want to do now is drill in the side of the bottom here. I actually want to go straight through, actually maybe back here a little bit, because I want some of this curve to be sitting inside on the bottom here, and I'm going to epoxy this in so that it doesn't move around. All of this stuff is all disassemblable, which is great. This really nice little Teflon liner inside of there, so it'll slide really easily. The only concern I have is that the cable is quite stiff, so that might actually be a problem inside of here, depending on the bend. So I'm just gonna drill that and have a go, see what I end up with. Right, well, so I had to do some stuff to make this work. This is just temporary, of course, while I figure it out exactly, but we do. This is going to be an absolute bitch to assemble inside of the vehicle, but I need to keep that straight. I'm going to have to make a some sort of groove for the cable to run in around the outside of this, so that it works right. Right now I'm just pinning this end of the spring here, just on my I had an idea to run a compression spring around the cable, so that way the cable pulls and pushes on this and doesn't apply a lot of force sideways to the sliding part. But just space constraints, there's nothing you can do that will fit that in there. So this is sort of round about what you'll end up with. If you imagine this cable is going down to the shifter, so that'll be park, and then you come through everything. It's not going to work because it's jammed, but yeah. So I need to get the spring better. Maybe if I hold that like that, maybe that'll work. Maybe. So if this is running in a groove, I also need to do something inside of here, but like I said, I can't do a lot of this until I actually get it to the vehicle, because I don't know how deep on the car this piece is supposed to sit. I can't remember. So probably what I'll do is just oh, I see what's happening. So the spring's not doing me any favours at the moment, being a bit of a pain, holding everything too far back. There's the how it's going to work. That's the action there. Let's see, it's not sitting straight, so it's not showing through. The indicator part's not showing where it should be. see just from that how much force is on it sideways. When I pull the cable, there's a big twist that happens, big twisting force. So when we mount this, we're going to have to really do a good job of securing it. So I think from memory, that's park, and then you go through reverse drive, etc, etc, all the way around. And if this is concentric in this, then the needle just pokes through nicely. There we go. Bit of lube on there and a bit of an adjustment and she'll be happy. I need to do something to make it smooth. This was why I wanted to use the bearing, because I wanted to make sure that it was smooth, but there's just not enough space in here for all of that. It's a bummer. Never know, I might end up just fucking getting up there and figuring it out with Arthur on the car and end up just redoing everything anyway. Doing a better job of it or doing it differently or something. Shenanigans. Anyway, do a little bit of tidying up and make some grooves and stuff and stick some things together so it doesn't just shove around all over the place. Do a better job of aligning the way this spring pulls so it's not pulling the thing off kilter, because that's what it's doing right now. It's not very good. And then that'll make it a lot smoother so that it just works nice and easy. It doesn't pull itself back. Anyway, it's working though. Functioning. Function-ish. Ish.